Thanks, Alyssa. First, really appreciate the opportunity and also for the welcome to the group. So it's great to be here. So I'm Chief Growth Officer for Kai's Education. I'm based in the Denver, Colorado area, and access and accessibility are really at the heart of who we are at Kai's. We're a global team with a global footprint, but our primary market is here in the USA. So if you do see us at any trade shows, please be sure to come say hi, and won't spend a lot of time introducing the company because I know it is in the notes, but we'll just say I feel very lucky to be joined by our co-founder, who's the product architect and creator, Bruce Jackson. So he's the real star who's going to tell you a little bit about the why, his journey into the whole ed tech world, and why he created both KaiBot and KaiLab. He'll run through a quick demo of KaiBot so everyone can see it sort of in action from our global headquarters and studio in New Zealand. And with that, Bruce, I'll let you take it away.
Delayed reaction on the mic. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Mike. There's two mics. There's a mic and a mic. Thank you, Mike. So yes, my name's Bruce Jackson, and lovely to meet you all. I didn't realize how many kind of like UDL people that we're going to have in this group. I'm actually I bow down to you because you're all doing a great job on getting access to all kids. And I think that is, well, not I think, that is why I created the company, actually. So I'm half blind in my right eye, and I'm also now diagnosed as ADHD. But when I was in the classroom, those two disabilities that really excluded me from learning. I was the naughty kid. I was put in the corner. I didn't have, we didn't have labels back then, but, and that kind of fueled me, because when my son was going to school and I'm like, hey, what's going on? What's happening? And then I was, I'm very passionate in technology, and I really wanted more for all kids, not just mainstream kids, because it's unfair that what's happening with all kids. So I thought about, hey, why don't I create a resource that can help kids learn how to code, but not just block code, right? Not the Scratch, and no disrespect to Scratch and Blockly, and those have help. But I really wanted to give kids an opportunity to learn coding in a career and learn STEM skills in a career for all kids. So I set upon a little mission as a hobby, and that hobby, some teachers loved it in New Zealand, and that hobby turned into a business. And that business now, we're working very closely with APH. They are doing, we're about to go into a pilot with, I think it's 15 schools with APH. So nice to see some APH people on the team as well. And I'm going to show you a demo, so I'm not going to talk too much, but any questions before I start a demo? No. Okay, good. So what I did with this, and what you're going to see, is we took Python text-based coding. So text-based coding is what anybody who's getting a job in coding would do. They would use that kind of language, JavaScript, Python, one of the languages. They would do that in text-based coding. So we took that and we broke it down into its most basic form, which is the fundamentals of programming. And what I'm going to show you, I'm going to switch cameras and stuff like that. We're going to show you some coding cards, and then we're going to migrate that and how we teach coding to blind students or deaf students, and we've got fully accessible. And I think our team have done an amazing job on making this fully accessible. It's not an easy task. It's easy to sell to mainstream kids, but it's difficult to solve this challenge. And this is a challenge we accepted, and I think we've done really well at it. So let me switch cameras and let me show you the fundamental cards and how we use them. So Okay, so I'll just shift things around here. So you can see we've got a few elements here. We've got these magnetic tiles, and these have a little bit of braille on the bottom right of them here, saying what the number is, so kids can feel what number tile this is. And that's going to become important later on. So let me just get this out of the way. And actually, I'll flick this over here. Right, yeah. So what we have is we have over 100 coding cards, and these cards are broken down into the raw elements of what coding is. For instance, if we wanted to program this robot to say, go in a square, that's quite simple for everyone to understand. So we'd go forward, turn right. We would go forward, turn right. And we would repeat that 4 times in order to do a square. So how KaiBot works is you basically tap KaiBot onto the cards, and the kids are programming the robot like that. And if I run this program, I'll just move these cards out of the way, you'll see KaiBot will go forward and follow those instructions. But what I like to do is scaffold the learning. So what we're going to do now is, it got stuck there. So here we've got the first programming card, which is record program start. And I don't know if you can see that, but we've got Braille on these as well. And we've worked very hard with APH to make sure that everything is compliant with the Braille standards as well. Right. So now we're going to say, okay, well, how do we, let's do a challenge. I'm going to bring the camera over to here. Excuse all this camera jiggery. And we've got these tiles. So now what we can do is we can set up a problem to solve. Let's move that back a bit. And I'm just going to set up a cross. Or let's do a square. Let's keep it simple. So we've got this square layout. These are all magnetic, so it's very easy to use. And now we're going to add on to our learning that we had with the programming. And then we're going to introduce some new cards. So a loop card or a repeat. So if you're going to drive around in a square, then these cards are going to be used. So for instance, if I go forward and right, and I repeat that, then we're going to do a square. So all we do, and I'll show you close up to the screen, you just grab KaiBot and you tap them on the cards, and you see it actually says what card it is. So I'll tap the next card. So it says loop. And then if I tap this card, what you're going to see now is you're going to see a bug detection. So the KaiBot is actually saying it's missing a number card because we didn't specify how many times to loop. So I'll just add that in there. So this is quite a simple level of coding. And then shortly, we're going to migrate this to our full accessibility mode and show you how this is going to read out to students as well. So we tap the run program card, and now it's going to do that square for us. So we have up to 60 tiles, so we can make large mazes and escape rooms and puzzles and lots of different activities. So here you can see KaiBot is navigating his way to solve that challenge. So repeat 4 times, forwards, right, end, repeat. So these cards are taken from Python text-based coding and deconstructed, and they're available in 3 languages plus Braille. Now, what we can do with this to make it fully accessible is we've got an iPad over here, and I'm going to share the screen of that iPad, and we're going to pair the robot to the iPad. Okay, so this is fully accessible. So let me see if I can switch cameras.
Seven,
Here we
three,
go.
eight,
Okay,
E,
so the first
available.
step is we look at the
Close
ID on the
window.
robot and match that
KaiBot 3,
ID,
KaiBot
and
7,
we
3,
swiping
8,
left or
pairing
right
KaiBot.
for the accessibility mode.
Connected to KaiBot.
And now
Coding
we have
card
a few
mode. Code
options
your
to
KaiBot
choose
without
from.
any
So
distractions.
we can do a lesson
Double
plan
tap
and
to
do some
select.
activities, or we can just do a simple, say, coding card mode. And does that
Opening.
and then
Scan cards with your robot and they will be shown here. Hold KaiBot switch to the right to enter reader mode.
And if I switch screens again, so as I'm tapping this code, can you just bring the iPad closer? Watch the cable. Just turn it. It's reflecting. There we go. Just keep it like that. So as I tap this code, you'll see it appearing on the screen. And I don't know if that audio is coming out. If you can hear the iPad's audio. Oh, no, I have to change to the iPad. There we go. So turn right.
Loop end.
Can you hear that? Yes.
Yes.
Record program end. 3, 2, 1.
So
Go.
if you look at how the
Moving
structure
forward.
of the coding
Moving
is laid
forward.
out on the screen,
Turning right.
that is the
Moving
same
forward.
way as
Turning
Python
right.
code is done as well.
Moving forward.
It's laid out like that, so we can slide up and
Record.
down and you can see
Save card layout.
We also
Double
collect
turning
the
right.
for the students,
Program finished.
so we can actually see if they're using if statements, if they're using functions, if they're using nested loops, so they can do some advanced activities too. We'll take you into a different mode as well. I don't know how much time we've got, so let's load up the Crossroads challenge.
Exit.
And we
You
can
have
Coding card
plenty of
mode.
time.
Code your KaiBot without any distraction. Load project. Open a virtual world. Load new levels.
So we're going to load a
Easter Bunny. Prepare the very base summit training wheels. KaiBot train. Alpha odds and evens. KaiBot crossroad challenge. Crossroad challenge.
we're going to load the level.
Find the most efficient load project. What is your lowest tile number? Text box says 14.
We have
Lowest tile number
physical
input
cards,
14.
the physical tiles. So we've got to make sure that the tile numbers match what we're using. So we know we're going to be using a cross. So what's our lowest tile number? So it's going to be 51. Oh,
Tiles to match. Tap on a tile to re-umber it.
back. Press the wrong button.
Lay out your physical Kai tiles to match. Tap on a tile to renumber it. Accessibility turned off. Tap 3 times with 3 fingers to turn back on.
Okay, so now we lay out our physical tiles to match that design. So let's see, where's 54? 54 right at the bottom, 51 in the middle. Oh, we're pretty close. We need a 52. And what number are we missing? 55. It's right here. Okay, so our physical tiles match the iPad tiles. So now we just click next on the iPad.
Enabled accessibility.
And we have
Find the most efficient way to get
do
KaiBot to
level.
touch each
So
tile.
walks us through. We have to find the most efficient way to get KaiBot to touch each tile.
Find them. Close. Use KaiBot to tap the cards to
Right, yep.
program.
So now what happens?
Start tile 51.
If we switch screens again, you'll see when KaiBot is moving, KaiBot is also moving on the virtual screen. So we have a digital twin happening here. And what we're going to do is we're going to code, I'm going to code the same code, so the loop 4 times. And when we code that and put the iPad on, you're going
Loop
to see
start.
that code
4.
appearing
Forward.
on screen and also
Turn
being
right.
read out.
Loop end. Tap run card, then place on tile 51.
Python,
Record program.
there is
Code.
the Python code that was being converted from the coding cards. So it's doing that full translation for the students to understand what is text-based coding. Now we have another platform after this to really show, to be able to start, for them to start typing into Python code. So I'd like to get some feedback and questions on that. What are your thoughts?